The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Arrakis, found out beyond, near the very edge of the Imperium. It is the sole source of the spice melange. The once-nothing Canopus sector has been thrust onto the main stage. The spice has made fold space technology possible, with the Butlerian Jihad over, and the distrust of thinking machines still lingering on the mouths of every Imperial citizen. This is a godsend, a blessing of the highest order. House Moritani was gifted fiefdom control over the planet once, but the current emperor has stripped the house of its former glory, choosing instead to raise up House Galloway. Some of the houses of the Landsraad have quietly disputed the new choice, and though smiles are ever present around the emperor, behind his back, a plot has been set in motion that will test not just the position of this newly raised house, but the allies and enemies they've made along their climb. This is a story of intrigue. This is a story of sacrifice. This is the story of Dune.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to McStabber Studios' Dune Blood-Soaked Sands. I'm turning it over right off to Ravnus Archon.
There might be some blood-soaked stands. We don't know yet. But hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Dune Blood-Soaked Sands. I'm glad that all of you could be here tonight. As always, it is an honor and a privilege to be at this table. And I am the Ravnus Archon, and before everything else, let's meet our players.
Hey everybody, I am Relyn Dare on socials and Mama McStabber in Twitch chat, and I will be playing Reverend Mother Jovius Della Alasan.
Hi, I'm Junior Vanesh, and I'll be playing Data, the Fremen that doesn't know why people are here.
Hello, I am Alexion Star, pretty much everywhere in the internet, and I will be playing Antares Valeria, the naive but good-hearted noble with all the good intentions in the world.
I'm, of course, Shanky McStabber, and I'm playing Hakeem Dujin, the Mentat, who has nothing sus about him. Perfectly upstanding. Human computer.
Nothing sus at all. So we hit the ground running. We hit the sand running last game as we came into it with a young Fremen girl that was found murdered on the outskirts of the Great Rocky Plateau where Arakeen sits. We had a Mentat called Ordu Thanel that was found dead inside the Spacing Guild's Highliner, along with a couple of the House Galloway guards and some of the guild representatives. And we found a lieutenant from House Valeria was found murdered and hidden away in a special compartment, a hidden compartment on their own flagship. But we left off with everyone being on Arrakis. Taara, of course, lives there. The Reverend Mother and Hakeem now live there with House Galloway. And Antares is just visiting. But we'll see if his stay becomes permanent one way or the other. Things are obviously separate. 3 very different events have happened to bring all of you together. And we pick up the next day. Certain meetings are happening. Hakeem has to meet with the Judge of the Change so that the report about the attack can be filed correctly. People are coming and going, and there is a section, a little group of Fremen that would like to put on a performance for the new Duke, the new Lord of Arrakis, and we go to a very different room where we find the Reverend Mother and Hakeem kind of in the middle of this conversation. What room do you think the Reverend Mother would have chosen for this meeting?
Actually, I think she would have chosen the room that she used the day before. She likes that room because of the fact that there is nothing that can get through that room. So that's a good one.
Okay.
She's had it furnished, though, now.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What do tell? What do you have in there?
She has basically some chairs and tables and things like that, and also there is some bookshelves in there, and some small little table lamps and things like that, just to make it a little more welcoming.
Okay.
And there is a carpet on the floor, an intricate carpet.
Okay. The group then most of them will wait outside, and a couple of the Fremen will come in to speak to you as far as the entertainment goes. One of the women that's there is called Duha. She is simple looking, tanned, almost chocolate skin, the blue on blue eyes, and then she has the shaved sides of her head, and the top of it is kind of dreaded and tied back into just these kind of spaghetti, these very thick spaghetti strands of dreaded hair. The other gentleman looks familial in that they share certain features, but he has spotted kind of white freckles across the bridge of his nose and the upper part of the cheeks, blue on blue, shaved head, and a bit of a beard growing in. His name is Desi. She seems to be the one taking the lead, and she just kind of has been trying to earn a place for just to show their appreciation. They tried to do it with the previous house, and they let them kind of perform a minstrel show of sorts, very, very much presentational. And right now, she's just kind of, I would like to do more than just put on a play about what it means to be a Fremen. I would like to actually show off some of our skills, maybe a show of archery or some mock dueling, things that we can do here on the plain, as it is a bit far for us to summon the Maker.
I understand. How would you do these mock duels? What equipment would you use for them?
We have very simple training weapons that we use for our young students. It would be non-lethal. They are made of stone and pieces of some of the iron trees that grow.
Understood. Wanted to make sure it was non-lethal.
I'm afraid you will not be able to do an archery demonstration. I do not feel comfortable with ranged weapons of any kind.
Indeed.
In the presence of the ducal family.
I understand.
It is only for security. It's not that we think that you would intentionally do something like that, but accidents can happen.
Of course. I completely understand.
So, yes, we could have in the courtyard a mock duel, and other skill performances that do not involve actual weapons that can cause harm.
Okay, then we could do maybe some wrestling then, if that is okay.
That would be okay.
Very well. I will take this back to the rest of the group.
Yes, and I will inform the family, and we will arrange it.
Excellent. She stands up. It has been a pleasure to meet all of you, and I hope this is the beginning of a fruitful relationship.
It is our hope as well.
She bows low. Desi bows slightly and then follows her out. Two of you are left alone.
We'll want to make sure we station enough troops.
Of course.
We'll pull them back. I don't think they need to crowd the parade ground or into the open courtyard area. But we do have to make sure security is maintained, especially in light of the recent murders.
Yes, of course. I do not believe it would be Fremen that would be hiring assassins, though.
Yes, but a face dancer
Indeed.
is a face dancer. And while I'm still inclined to trust them and to work with them, we still haven't learned enough about them yet or established those bonds.
I understand that. Understand they were a subjugated people. A little kindness can go far.
That is why I've already said our policy is to try to work with them. That's why we have to try to find this dead Fremen's killer.
Yes. Agreed. Well, you need to meet with the judge, yes?
Yes.
Would you like to use this room for it, or... I need to go speak with the Duchess.
That is fine. This will work.
Okay.
Reverend Mother.
Hakeem? Be well. And she turns and leaves to go to see the Duchess.
Okay. The judge of the change takes your report. Is there anything other than the facts that you would like to impart on her?
I would like to speak with her a bit about exactly what we're being left. The house that's leaving. You would know them better than I. How much sabotage should we expect on our equipment?
Ooh, given that the Imperial Decree only came a few months ago, I would say minimal at best. I have not taken to investigating any of the equipment as of yet. I was waiting for your house to get situated, but it can be arranged.
How much do you know of how the planet was governed prior to us?
There were attempts made at friendship with the Fremen, but they were few and far between.
And how often did they kill Fremen on this planet?
More often than they tried to be friends with.
That's what I feared. So we have an uphill battle if we want to win them over.
Fortunately.
I assume that we're not going to get a reprieve on the quotas that we're expected to produce of spice, even though we are just now taking over.
Of course. The manufacturing plants are still working. They may have slacked a bit, but they're still producing.
As I expected. Very good. And I know you are the judge of the change, and by Imperial decree that keeps you protected. But if somebody has hired a face dancer, I don't think they care about the Imperial decree. You may wish to be careful.
I have taken to spending more time with the Fremen, so I think unless they want to take their chances with them, that I should be safe out in the sands.
I would have thought the same thing when I was in the Guild Highliner above. But they attacked even on a guild ship.
Fair point.
I thank you for this information. If
Thank you for
you
your report.
if you have any other questions you need to ask, you can always message me.
Of course. And vice versa. I hope the same is true. If there's anything I can help with, please do not hesitate to ask.
I suspect in a few days I will have more questions. I am still assimilating all the data that's coming in, and the reports are still filing in as we're currently sweeping the place still, trying to make sure there's no hidden areas where troops have been hidden or assassins. Once that is done and my time can be devoted to other areas, I will be back to speak with you.
The Duke does not have any young children around, correct?
Trying to remember. Let me pull up my sheet here.
Yep.
I don't think he brought any with him, did he?
No. The youngest one would be Barra, and she is 13.
None I would call a young child. In most houses, by the time you hit your teens, you are expected to conduct yourself as a member of the house.
Good.
It seems an odd question. Why do you ask this?
I just wanted to make sure that there was no one that would make for a terrible crime, given everything that's happened.
Well, that's why I would say you be careful. It would look very bad on the house if the Judge of the Change was killed. As it would look bad if someone killed the Reverend Mother.
Of course.
And I suppose I should also add Mr. Valeria to that list. Having the scion of a house killed. And House Galloway's rulership would look bad.
I suppose so. But the Earl is only second in line, is he not?
That wouldn't matter. The art of Can Lee dictates certain things. And you always retaliate if something like that happens.
Of course.
Well, I will let you see to your own duties during this change. I've got to go and report back to my office and continue my reports.
Of course. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for yours.
She'll leave, and we will switch over to the Reverend Mother and the Duchess. Her room is, even in the midst of the moving in, it is still extravagant. It is flashy. The attitude of the room is definitely beholden to the origins of the house itself. There are jeweled trinkets, what would be considered like bedazzled cloths. It is a spectacle of just light and color. And she has a gift. She has a gift for catching light a certain way. And even though she only has a very simple slit of a window at the top of one of her walls, the room itself is just bathed in color, as she has kind of set up her jeweled accoutrement in a certain way. But as you are allowed in, she quickly kind of puts down the fabric that she's working with. She bows slightly to you.
The Reverend Mother does bow in return, as she is in a position of serving this house. Duchess, thank you for meeting with me.
Once the door closes, she smiles. Please, please. In private, you know that you don't have to call me by my name,
I
by
know.
my title.
Aurea, it is a pleasure, as always. And I wanted to discuss some matters with you. The Fremen are seeking our help. They also dealt with some issues from the prior house, and there was, just before the prior house left this planet, a murder. A young girl of theirs. And House Moritani wasn't willing to help at all. I have, as is within my rights of my position, agreed to assist in that investigation. Because that will help bridge the divide.
Anything that the house can give, of course, we will be happy to
Excellent.
supply.
Excellent. This morning, after having a discussion with the representative of that situation yesterday, this morning, 2 of the Fremen came and wished to put on performances for us, to showcase their talents. They had told me that the former house had them come for, basically, minstrel shows, but they have other talents that they wish to show, to truly show their culture to us. I have agreed to allow them to perform in the courtyard certain non-lethal, without dangerous weapons, combat skills.
Oh, that should be lovely.
Yes. So that way they can perform that. We will ensure, the advisors will ensure that the guard is ample for protection of the family. Just in case. But I truly feel like they are hoping that we are better than the house that came before us.
I hope that we can prove that we are. I fear that Pret might be seduced by their sword skill if they are any better than our sword master. But I am not one to belittle Ava's skill. She has been a good friend and a good teacher. But I would prefer it if she kept an eye on Pret during this showcase of their skills, especially with blades.
Yes, absolutely. I will advise her of that so that she can do such, because we don't want him getting enchanted and running off into the wilds.
Oh, please. He wouldn't survive a day, I think, before crying.
But you can't tell him that.
No. Has Tristan started to show any interest in the council?
Not yet, but I think he will.
All right. In due time, I guess.
Yes, I think he will. And how is your daughter?
She is well. She is unhappy with the change of scenery, of course. And to be fair, Arakeen is barren at best. But this is the safest place to build a city, I've been told. The Great Stone Plateau at the North Pole of this strange world.
Yes. Yes, it is the safest. There are things that lurk within the sands that are lethal.
At least the light is pretty. There are no clouds.
You have done wonders in this room.
Thank you.
Well, I have advised you of the matters that I must. Is there anything I can assist you with?
Not unless you would like to help pin some of these gems onto some fabric. It is monotonous work, I will warn you.
I will help. And
Very
she
well.
takes up some fabric and the tools to do such, and they work on the projects together
Okay.
and converse amiably.
Yeah. We shift over to one of the sieges where we find Thara, and one of the elders comes up and tells you there has been a group that wishes to show off some of our cultural excellence to this new house. This has been a chance to bring back Makduha into the siege. I would like you to keep an eye on her, however.
Why does she want to do this?
She wishes to try to clean her honor after her father, her mother disgraced it.
She was not at fault for that.
This is why the elders have allowed her this chance to prove that she remembers what is foremost in Fremen culture, which is the benefit and the safety, survival of our people as a whole.
What did Niab say about this? He agreed?
He was one of the votes against, unfortunately.
I'm surprised they're letting her do this. Have they spoke to woman names? Their names are so different.
So different.
I know. The priestess. What did the man computer called her Reverend Mother?
They have approached the house with their invitation, with their plea. I guess it's a good word.
What
but
weapons?
no,
Anything?
no,
Wait,
I did
no.
not allow them any weapons.
How are they to do duels? How are they to show?
We will do the practice weapons that we have for the smaller children.
Oh yeah. How many people you are going to do this thing?
She asked for a dozen or so duelists and half a dozen archers.
They're not going to do the archers, you know that.
She asked, I gave.
They're going to think that we're going to try to attack from behind.
Right. And I wouldn't put it against her, given that her father was Dumas.
Fair.
You remember, were you old enough to remember his betrayal, or were you still nursing?
I wasn't nursing, I was in between. I was told when I was older I would be able to be told. They just forgot to tell me.
Some things are better left unsaid, I think, then.
But we are doomed to repeat the past. We do not know it.
You are your mother's daughter. You show wisdom beyond your age.
It's a thing, it's right, I suppose.
Duma was a close friend to me and your father. We were brothers at one point, not by birth, of course, but we
bond.
We rode the makers together. We went through our rite together, and the three of us survived. But Dumas never took kindly to your father being raised above him.
He wasn't good at taking advice.
He was not. Dumas acted from his heart, and although for the most part, it was on the right course, it never sat right with everyone.
Too hot, too quick, too fast.
And it did not help that his wife Mirka was not a voice of reason for him, but an instigation more than anything.
Is this why she tries to impress the Outworlders?
It could be.
I see she likes to go to the city more often than staying in the sieges. Not to mention how she tries to mock the way they wear clothes. She leaves too much vibration.
I fear that it is our fault, though. None of the sieges, at least none of the sieges here, have allowed Makduha to live within them for more than any sustained period of time. She must adhere to the exile that was passed down to her family.
Okay, how about this? Has Nihab allowed her to do a battle to bring about the restoration, to allow her to come back on her own accord?
I do not think so. This attraction that she has put herself in charge of is the first step towards that end game, I believe. Why, are you looking for practice?
We always practice. I practice when I am not doing anything. Why let myself go numb and jelly and such if I don't practice to keep up with things? You see how they change things every day. Not to mention, they want to actually meet and talk to the elders now, the priestess and the man, because they want to turn around and see if they can find out and help us find the killer. And they want to actually talk to the leaders. I said I bring up the proposal. As I'm only the messenger, I give the message. That's it.
I will bring this up to the elders, but I will warn you, with the previous
I know.
off-worlders honeyed words, we are not.
I trust only their action. If their action matches their words, then they're in unison, yes? I wait for
course.
their action to match the words. I bring the message, I leave it up to the Nihab and the elders, and then I will go about my duties to help with anything they need. It's always for the sieges, for the tribe. But if these off-worlders think that we are going to be able to help them, they need to help us in return. As the priestess said, things have to be copacetic.
What is this word, copacetic?
So you see that their tribe, a tribe, copacetic, to build and bring together.
It feels too big a word for what it is meant to be.
Unite, unity.
You just say unity. Just say to unite. Why make words that are too?
Not make words. Understand and communicate. Understand our words to translate to us. That way, we still keep our words and our understanding. We understand what they speak, but we never actually let them know.
He boops you on the nose and he goes, if you want to revel in their fancy words, that is your prerogative.
It is not reveling. It is education. What did Mother tell me? Education and understanding of the other people bridges us together.
Throws up his hands and starts walking away. Yes.
No, stop for a moment. Stop for a moment. Listen. Just listen. We understand our words. We understand the meaning behind the words. And then we match their actions to that. They think they're fancy. They think that they are higher educated. We know, but we don't tell. Like the sandworms. They know, but they don't tell what Shai Halud's real actions are.
Oh, yes. Why don't you go and show your fancy words to a Shai Hulud right now? See what they say.
Sure.
Have a conversation.
Ugh, you're just being mean now. I'm trying to help you.
Yeah, I have work to do.
I do too.
Okay.
I have to go and see what they're doing in the city now.
Get to it then. And he starts to just walk away. As you make your way towards the city of Arakeen, we come to the interior of a freighter from the house Valeria. What is Antares' room looking like right now?
It's looking lavish, like everything in his life, like decorated sheets and also over the bed, expensive carpeting, like a vase with very beautiful flowers by the window, that sort of stuff. Antares likes the pretty things.
Do you have your own men-at-arms, or would Renna count as that?
I would suppose he would be waiting outside, guarding the door.
Sure.
While Renna is doing Renna things.
Yep. And there's a moment where there is a knock at the door. The man-at-arms stands there for a moment. My lord, a message. And he steps aside and lets the messenger kind of walk through.
He looks at him. Please.
Bows low. Earl Antares Valeria, this message is for you and for you alone. The man-at-arms kind of nods at that, steps back outside, and the door closes. And the messenger takes on a very feminine voice that you almost recognize as Altera's. It is so good to finally have someone from the house here.
Oh, Altera.
I have been surrounded by Galloway men.
I don't let her finish. I just run to her and hug her.
Well, it's a messenger. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because of subspace travel, messages are trusted only to people, just like mentats are trusted with the kind of mental computations.
Okay. For a small second, I thought it was her disguised as the messenger, so she could go freely about the. Okay.
Not at all. It is actually a messenger, and if you do hug him, which I find that to be hysterical, he will kind of just stand there with his arms at his side.
No, he won't do that.
Okay. But you hear her voice through him. I have been surrounded by Galloway men, and I am so tired of hearing about ores and gems and everything that happens with their house. It is difficult. The Duke's children are much too young for me to even have anything in common with, and my children are much too young to even be involved with his youngest. So I am more than glad to have you here, and I am glad that Alistair allowed you to come at my request. I look forward to seeing you for dinner. Please don't feel like you have to dress up for this. And then the messenger's voice comes back. My lord, is there anything you wish to respond with?
Yes, please. My dear Altera, I cannot fathom how glad I am to hear your voice in this strange land where, with so many unknown people and so many responsibilities that are new, and which I believe is something that you also can relate to. I look very forward to seeing you at last and make up for the lost time that, I mean, we haven't seen each other in 2, 3 years now. I miss you so much. I miss our when we used to spar on the gardens of our house. I miss our teas in the afternoon, seeing the sunset behind the flowers. Sorry, I'm getting emotional here. I'm not supposed to do that, but it's you. It's my little sister. I mean, I'm so looking forward to meeting you again. This is really one of the things I'm mostly looking for in this trip. So, yes, I will see you at dinner. And I will not leave your side unless I really have to after that.
The messenger nods as he kind of feels you finish,
Mhm,
and he replays the message for you, and it sounds almost like your voice coming out of his mouth.
mhm.
Uh, and then at the end of it, he's just like, "Are you pleased with that?
Yes, I'm very pleased.
I take my leave of you then, sir."
Mhm.
And he runs off. As he's leaving, you see Rena kind of stop at the door, kind of surprised by the messenger's exit, and her hand kind of almost goes down to her sword, but she stops herself,
Mhm,
uh, watches them leave, and then kind of pulls her
mhm.
dress uniform down. Uh, and Taurus, if I could have a moment of your
Yes,
time, my lord.
yes, of course.
She nods at the man at arms. He nods, lets her in, and just closes the door behind. Uh, things are proceeding very well. I have
Mhm,
placed one of the sergeants who is very eager to prove his worth once we've gotten here as a lead liaison
mhm,
on the murder investigation.
mhm.
Uh, his name is Nemers Geyer. Uh, I'll introduce you once you come back from dinner.
Yes,
Are you still going?
yes. It's my sister. I have to see her even more to make sure she's okay. And yeah, there's no way I can skip the dinner. I'm sorry.
Of course.
But have you found any clues or anything? Or maybe there's something that I can dig at the dinner for informations that could help you.
Um, there is very little that I think you would be encountering that could help our investigation,
Hmm.
given that you'll be off the ship
Mm-hmm.
in Taurus. But if you can pull yourself away from her two uh, globules of mass that she calls children, then I guess, yes, if you can find some information for us, please
Mm-hmm.
do.
Excellent. I will try my best at it. Don't worry. Outside of that, how are things doing? Are you settling in well? Are the Galloways treating you well?
Yes, yes, I've tried not to go to them for anything unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
I've briefed Juma and Tarker. Uh, they will be here about 10 minutes before you're supposed to leave,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and they will walk with you.
Mm-hmm.
If you need more, do not hesitate to contact us.
Don't worry. Question. I was planning on taking a stroll over the city, um, today or tomorrow. Would you think that's a security hazard?
I would prefer it if you at least had one person with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think Juma is free right now.
Hmm.
If you'd like to take him with you.
Yes, please. I would very much like so.
I
I
will
am,
call him up.
yes, please. I am sick of these walls being the only thing that I see all the time.
I forget that you have been relegated to a kind of prisoner, and I apologize for that.
It's okay. I know you mean only for my safety, but I really need to get out of here.
You still have the gift I gave you, yes?
Yes. Yes, I do. Don't worry.
All right. I think it would be safe. She goes and she opens the door. I think it would be safe if your man at arms here escorts you down to the ramp. I'll have Juma meet you down there.
Yes. Okay. I thank you very much. And please keep me apprised of anything related to the investigation, please.
Of course. Be sure to come back in time to change or at least to freshen up before your dinner.
Yes, don't worry. And by the way, have you is Alistair knowing about something about is Alistair knowing anything about what's happened here?
I have sent a messenger, but
Mhm,
it will take some time for him to arrive back at our homeworld.
mhm, mhm.
So we might
Okay.
not get anything from him for at least a week.
Okay. Well, nothing to do but enjoy our stay, right?
For you, yes. That is the life of an earl.
And yes, I should take you on one of those strolls one of these days. You also need to lighten up a little.
Oh, I'll add that to my list, sir.
Well, you know where I am most of the time, so
Yes. Hopefully, where you are most of the time.
yeah, you do. Anyhow,
She bows. Enjoy your walk, sir.
thank you.
And the man at arms again just kind of walks a foot or so behind you and to the side,
Hmm.
his hand on his weapon.
Hmm.
No las gun, but he does have a shield.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yes, I also have my shield. It's just off.
Okay. And sure enough, you get down to the ramp, and after a few minutes, you see a guard kind of come up to you, bow low. My lord, I am Juma
Yes,
Freeze. I will be your guard through the city.
thank you. Have you been on this planet for how long? I start walking with him.
Yeah. Same as you, my lord.
Oh, I see. Have you had any chance to look at the city? Recommend any places we should go?
Very little. I've done some scouting work as far as where we have been allowed to dock. So I can show you where your ships are, sir.
Okay, so I suppose we are going to be the explorers of the New World today.
Very
You
well.
and me together against the vast expanse of a new planet.
I look forward to it, my lord.
Yes. And I start to go, Antares will start to go towards the city, look for interesting places to visit, and go to the market, maybe go shopping, something like that.
Arakeen is simple. There are plenty of places that offer shade as far as just like sprawled out tarps and such cloth that kind of billows in the wind. And you notice that the yellow sky has no clouds. It is a vast difference from your homeworld. The sun is high and it is hot.
Should have brought a. I really should have brought something to shade myself with. I would like try to walk by the shade, but still won't give up the strolling. We'll
Yeah.
try to find something, some kind of construction that offers something interesting, like a shop or a museum or something like that.
There is a what would be considered a fountain on a regular planet. On Arakeen, it is just this massive art installation. And it doesn't look like it was Fremen made at all. This has contours and shapes and curvatures that are very reminiscent of the Imperium.
Oh, I'm gonna turn to Juma and see, look, we can find so many pretty things here.
And
look at the artwork in this.
He goes over to the plaque and he's like, yes, sir. Very pretty, except for what it's meant to denote, and he kind of steps away from it.
I look at him and I take a step back too, because suddenly he's thinking this is dangerous. And I go, what do you have to tell me about this?
Oh, it's just based on the plaque, sir. It looks like it is a commemoration of a victory by House Mortani over the Fremen.
Oh. I look around to see if there's any Fremen here.
There are.
Oh, I see. That's embarrassing. Okay. I am going to look for another place of interest. Will you come with me?
Sure. Yes, of course. And there's a hurried kind of walk away. Yeah. But yeah, you guys walk around the city for a little bit before coming back. There is a messenger that arrives for the Reverend Mother and for Hakeem, warning of Earl Valeria returning to the estate because he has been invited by the Lady Altera for dinner.
Question for you, Game Master. Have I, in all my reports I've been doing and monitoring and checking, have I seen anything that suggests anything additional about that ornithopter that we had gotten? Have I found any of my sweeps noted any unmarked ornithopters around the city that are hidden away somewhere?
Ooh, let's have you roll for that, just to see if you can earn some extra momentum. Right now, from where we left off, we're still at 6 threat. You still have 4 momentum out of 6. Each of you has a point of determination. So let's have you...
Data analysis for sure.
Yeah.
See what drive I think fits it, though. I don't think duty. That's not why I'm doing it. Not even think truth, don't think fits it.
Would it be power, then?
Justice.
Okay.
Because I actually want to find the killer. Because justice is actually important to my particular mentat. So it would be, so if we do data analysis and justice, that's a 14 for my target number.
Yep. You understand is 7, your justice is 7, so it'll be 14. Anything 7 or lower would be considered critical.
Yep. Are you using any of your threat to up my difficulty, or am I just going to get a nice easy one for this one?
I think because it is difficulty 0, I will use a threat to bring it up to 1.
Okay. I'll stick with a 1. Let's see what I get here. Well, I got a 19 and a 4, so I get two successes off that 4.
Yeah.
I'll take that. So that leaves us 1 over.
All right, that brings your momentum up to 5.
Yep.
There has been no sign of the ornithopter anywhere in the city, but pieces of a wrecked ornithopter have been found outside the plateau.
And I assume that means we have not, there's none of my reports show we're missing an ornithopter at this point.
You have all of your ornithopters locked in and accounted for, so it has to be somebody else's.
Okay. Going to make a note of that. Actually, it's outside the plateau.
Western side of it.
Yeah, I'm not going to send any of our people there. I'm just going to make a note so I can perhaps let the Fremen know it's out there to have they can look at it, because I don't want to send our people outside the plateau like that. We're not desert equipped yet, or at least not familiar enough, in my opinion, to go and poke around outside the safety of the hard earth or hard rock under our feet.
Correct. But yeah, it is brought to your attention that the Earl will be coming back into the estate. That he'll be in tow with 2 personal guard.
I'm going to message the Reverend Mother to inquire if she intends to attend the dinner.
Good question.
She doesn't reply. She's actually heading to the Duke's sister.
Okay. Well, which one? Because he has a personal sister. No, sorry, he has.
The one that invited him to dinner.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. The way, because I was just looking at the family history here, the family tree, and I was just like, why did I put the actual Galloway on the wrong side? But yeah, the House Galloway has 3 male heirs. The Duke, who's in charge, his
No.
older brother.
I'm talking about Antares' sister, the one that scheduled the dinner.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Duke Thelder has 2 brothers, Barand and Eoris. Barand is the husband of Altera.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
why.
So
He has 2
she's
sisters.
She's going to go to Baran's wife.
Okay. And you see that she is getting ready. She has a nanny dealing with the younger daughter of hers. Her name is Hera. The eldest that she has is 3-year-old called Stenton, and he's kind of just running around making airplane noises with a little ornithopter toy that he has. But as you walk in, she stops her dressing. She nods respectfully. Reverend Mother, it is a pleasure.
Of course. So you are having dinner with your brother this evening?
Yes, I hope that's not an issue.
Should not be. I had a conversation with him yesterday.
Oh no. How bad was it?
I could tell he was not very experienced with Bene Gesserit.
Our family has a sister, but she is
not a Reverend Mother.
No.
Very well. Find me after dinner.
Okay.
I would like to speak with you on some matters.
Is it something that pertains to him, or?
We will talk after dinner. And she turns and walks out.
Okay. And as everyone is preparing for dinner, I think this is a good point to go to break.
So we will see everybody in 10 minutes. Please enjoy the break. See you in 10.
Oh, yeah. Never trust a painting with a picture on it. But welcome back, everybody. Last we left off, we were gearing up towards this dinner between Antares and his sister Altera. And as you approach the Galloway estate, the guards there kind of nod as you approach with Juma Freeze that you spent the day with, and the other associate of his, Tarker Fringe, the 2 honor guard that have been chosen to guard your life. And you are brought to a very simple but work in progress of a dining room. There's a long table. Altera is at one side, and as you are announced, she rises and rushes over to you. You can see there is a nanny off to the side that is coddling a small child on her shoulder and kind of like bouncing up and down. And there is a small child, maybe about 2 feet tall, 2.5 feet tall, kind of around her and just playing with what looks to be an ornithopter toy. But she comes over and she immediately just hugs you tightly. This is actually your sister. So
Yes, I will hug her back with all the love in my heart. I am so glad to finally see you again, sister.
she puts her hands on your face. It's you. It's really you.
It is me, Alti. It is me.
Oh,
I'm here.
come, come, come. And she pulls you by the arm and leads you to her children. The young boy, she pats on the head and she kind of lifts him up so you can see him eye to eye.
Oh, hello, you.
This is Stenton.
What is that? Oh, hi, Stanton. I like pretend that I'm going to shake his hand and like go with his tiny hand. So much pleasure to meet you.
And she immediately just pawns him off on you and just gives him to you. He is heavy.
Oh, he's heavy. Aren't you heavy?
And
you are going
her,
to be so strong.
You see her just kind of smudge the cheek of the young girl that the nanny is holding. And her eyes are closed right now. She's in the middle of a nap. But your sister just kind of looks over. She's like, this is my youngest, Hera.
Oh, Hera, aren't you such a little princess?
I think she looks like mom a little bit.
Stroke her head just very gently, try not to wake her.
Yeah.
You have a beautiful family here, Alti.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad that you could see them. I mean, Alistair hasn't made time, but I know that he's busy. I'm so glad that he let you come at least.
Yeah, you would not believe the amount of times that I asked him to come here and see you. I miss you so much. And I put my hand on her face.
She leans
We
into
were
it.
practically joined by the hip our whole lives. I mean,
I know. And now
do you remember how much I cried when you went?
I can't get that image out of my head, so I'm glad that I have this new one to replace it. But she takes back Stenton and puts him on the ground. And she pulls you again towards the dinner table. She goes, "Are you hungry? How hungry are you?" Because
I haven't eaten all day. I've been strolling, trying to know the city. You have a lot of very interesting places here.
Yeah, I haven't been able to go out yet. Some of the guard haven't been assigned, and it's hectic here.
Oh, I see. Yeah, but how are you settling in? How are you feeling? How is your marriage? How is everything going? I haven't heard you for so long.
I'm okay. I'm getting used to it. Reverend is.
Is he treating you well?
Yes. It's just that he's second in line, and so he needs to be involved in everything.
I would know.
Yeah. And their relationship is nothing like you and Alistair at all. And it's weird because there were 3 brothers. It was elder, Baron, and Eoris. But Eoris left to live with his wife, and it's been hard because they haven't seen him in over 6 years. And they talk about him, and there's images of the 3 of them. You'll see. I'll give you a tour if we're allowed.
Yes, please. I would take any opportunity to see the sights and especially to spend more time with you. I will I will confess that was the main reason for me to wanting to be here.
Oh, I appreciate it.
And so I just look around. Is there anything else of notice, worth noticing on the room?
The room is in transition, so the only thing that's really clean and prepared is the dining room table, the seats. It looks like it seats a good dozen people.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of pieces of art that have been taken down and have been placed off to the side. There's the back of what looks to be this grand 6 foot by 9 foot painting. Excuse me. Its back is to you, and you can see where the discoloration of how long these things have been up has taken form on the walls. But no, for the most part, it's kind of barren. It's very simple. The archway that leads to the kitchen, you can smell the food coming from it, and you can hear like the little bit of sound of the workers. And you notice that as she's talking about the brother of yours, one of the serving girls comes over and places a plate of soup in front of each of you. And what strikes you is the fact that she has the kind of tanned skin, the blue eyes, and you immediately recognize it as a Fremen woman. And she bows low and walks back into the kitchen. And she's like, this is a specialty from the planet. I've been told that it is very good. It is made with what they call and please don't let this discourage you from trying it, but it is a mouse called the Muad'Dib.
Okay.
I haven't tried it, so we're going to be going into this together.
Well, then it's gonna be a new experience for the both of us.
Yeah,
I take my spoon and
she dips her spoon in, brings it up to her mouth. On 3.
So, how does it taste?
There's a moment where she holds it in her mouth, her eyes begin to water, and then she has a hard swallow.
Okay.
And she puts her spoon down next to the bowl and then just pushes the bowl away from her.
What do I feel when I taste it?
Have you ever had an oversteeped tea?
Whew, okay. I do my best to be very polite and smile. It's really good.
It's not good. You don't have to lie. It's not good.
Sorry, yes, it's terrible. Oh my God,
no,
these people eat that?
I mean, not very often, but yes. And she grabs both the plates and just pushes them towards the center of the table.
Wow.
All right. Yeah. Maybe we should have stuck to a Galloway traditional
yes.
meal.
Are all Fremen cuisine like this?
Maybe I don't know. That's why I was like, maybe it would be better if we try some of the.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah. Yeah. This one. Okay. Do you have any tea?
I can.
I try to find a drink of some sort.
Yeah. And she grabs a decanter from the fireplace, and she brings it over with 2 cups. This is, I will say that it takes a bit to get used to, but it is Galloway wine. And she pours you half a glass, and she pours herself half a glass. It's not terrible.
Mhm.
I'm not a
Anything
wine
is good
drinker.
right now.
Yeah, I'm not a wine drinker myself, but I can tell you it is not sweet. It's more drier wine. So if you're a sweet wine drinker, this is definitely not up your alley.
Okay.
But it is completely different from the mouse
Yeah,
soup.
at this rate, I'm gonna take anything to wash that out of my mouth. So
And they bring in the main course. It does not look like there's anything carnivorous on there, like anything a carnivore would eat. It looks more like a vegan plate.
Okay.
And the first thing you notice is her face kind of droops.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just looks up at you with like these very I'm sorry eyes.
I give her a reassuring look. Don't worry. I'm like trying with our internal sibling chemistry to tell her that it's okay through my look.
Yeah. And you eat your dinner, you talk a little bit, and afterwards, she just kind of sits there for a moment. The nanny comes over, gives her children to kind of kiss goodnight. She motions for you in case you want to do it as well.
Yeah, of course. I will go to the little one and say, "Hey, guess what? We could play tomorrow. What do you think? I could come and we could play the whole day tomorrow."
He nods. He's like, I want to play.
Yeah, and you can show me all your toys and we're gonna have a wonderful time together.
I have a lot of toys.
I bet you do. I had a lot of toys when I was your age too. Do you had then I start like talking about some of the toys that I used to have on my childhood.
Oh, he starts talking about the toys that he's been given or that have been made specifically for him. Yeah, you spend a good
basically
20
we are
minutes
going
just trying to one up each other.
Yeah. Until somebody comes and takes this child away, I am going to remain at that.
Yeah. And there is a moment where Altera just kind of like puts her hand in between the two of you. Okay, that's enough. It's time for bed.
I'm sorry. I can't help it. I have the same mental age as him.
Yeah, no, I know. And they take the children away. She pours you another cup of wine. She pours herself another cup of wine.
So
how long can you stay?
Sister.
Oh, please, go ahead.
Oh, yes. Are you happy here?
Yeah, I mean, it's only my second day here, but I think we can make a home here. You know, there's spice. My family is here. My Galloway family is here. You're here. And hopefully you can stay for an extended period, you know?
I also hope so. I mean, we'll probably have to go back before Alistair turns Paladis into a dystopic nightmare. But we both know how he is when I'm not around, so
I mean, we can hope that he won't do that.
Yeah, so, but I will try to stay here as much as I can. I mean, at least I have to stay until all the transfer is formalized, so.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Is everything okay on your end? Did you have a good trip?
Yes, I did. I did actually. I had a very good trip. Yes.
Good.
Totally uneventful.
Excellent.
And I'm really looking forward to spend more time with you. You cannot believe I have been like squandered to my quarters ever since I arrived here. Yeah, it was not pretty. Today was the only day where I was allowed to leave, really.
Who's taking charge of you? Is it Rena?
Yes, Rena is here. Oh yeah, I haven't told you. Right, Rena is here. She came with me.
Why hasn't Rena allowed you to leave?
Something, you know how she's with security. I mean, it's a new planet. It's a very important event that's happening. She just wants me to be safe. I understand.
That's not like Rena.
Ah,
She
well,
let you get away with everything.
well, I think mm, maybe it has to do with the fact that we're not home.
Uh, and you see she takes in a big breath like she's about to say something, and one of the guards comes in. Madam, unfortunately, I will have to ask you to go back to your room and for your guest to leave.
Oh,
And
it's
she kind of
okay.
looks, she's like, is that okay? I'm sorry, I didn't expect this to happen.
No, it's okay. It's really okay. I'm gonna be back tomorrow. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah, I'll make sure that everyone knows that you should be
Mhm.
good to just come and go.
Yes, please.
Okay.
That would be very helpful.
And as she stands up, she pulls you in and kisses your cheek.
Mm-hmm. I hug her again, like really close.
Yep.
Hey, you stay safe, okay?
You too. You too.
And come visit us home too after some time. We should
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
all of us.
Once
Bring the
Hera's old enough to
kids.
fly, I think we'll go back to Pallades.
Yeah, bring the kids. I'm sure they will love the gardens.
Of course. Yeah, I miss the gardens. So, and the guard clears his throat. Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
please.
Yeah, I just like let her go a little bit.
Yeah.
Pull her head towards me, kiss for her forehead.
Yeah.
Stay well, Alti.
Of course. You too. I'll see you tomorrow. And as she's walking out, you see the door opens, and there's a good group of like 4 other guards that are just waiting to protect her as they're leading her back to her room.
Mm-hmm.
Juma and Tarker, once you come out, you see that there's another 4 Galloway guards that are there as well. And one of them just kind of nods at you. Sir, for your protection, we'll
Yes.
escort you as far as the estate grounds.
Yes, it's okay. Let's go.
Of course. And as you're walking towards your ship, in the distance, you can see a small, slithering black plume of smoke. And as you're being taken back to your ship, we transfer over to the Reverend Mother and the Mentat of the house that have been brought together with the rest of the inner circle, as they're not sure whether this is connected or not, but a Fremen house in Arakeen has been found burnt and contained to just the house.
We need to finish securing this city. We need to stop the acts of sabotage inside the city limits. Furman's house today. Silo, a refinery, a crawler, harvester. They could be tomorrow.
The spy master comes in a little later than everybody else, but Flo Dolo is an older gentleman, maybe early 50s, thin, wiry, pencil thin, kind of John Waters mustache, slicked black hair on his head with little streaks of gray, soft blue eyes, not the blue within blue, just regular blue. And he comes in. I'm sorry, I was listening into the young mistress's dinner with her brother. Is there anything that I might have missed?
Yes, Fremen house inside the city has been burned.
Oh. Do we know who did it?
That is what I'm hoping.
When did this occur?
With the guard that brought you all together looks at his report. We have it having taken place about an hour ago. it wasn't reported until it got a little out of hand, and by that time it was just the best we could do was just clear the area around the house.
My understanding is these houses are made from stone. Burning a stone building is not easy. I would expect, hopefully the spy master might be able to find us some info in the next few days.
Oh, of course. I could put some agents on it immediately.
Were there any casualties?
The guard looks at his data pad. 2. We found 2 skeletons inside the house.
Has the judge of the change been informed?
Not as of yet. We brought you together first.
Would you care to be the one to inform the judge of the change, Reverend Mother?
I can do such.
We need to notify our contacts among the Fremen.
I will allow you to handle that.
I don't want it to appear that we are not taking this seriously.
Oh no, we absolutely are.
Anyone else at this table have something they wish to add?
There's a couple of murmurs, but there's just kind of an agreement to the sentiment.
I'd like to see the guard patrols increased. Not double, we can't afford to pull that many from inside, but increase the guard patrols.
Of course.
But make sure none of them move alone.
The guard nods, makes a note on his data pad, and then excuses himself to spread the word.
Spy Master,
Reverend Mother?
have your agents also keep an eye on, I believe her name was Rena?
Ah, yes. The Valeria Swordmaster.
Yes.
Of course.
Her behavior yesterday was quite remarkable, honestly. I do not know her personally, but it was strange.
I did not get a chance to hear what happened, but I have it on good authority that anything that should be noted would have been brought to my attention.
Call it a woman's intuition.
Very well.
Anything interesting from their dinner?
They did not like the soup, or for that matter, any of the Fremen dishes. But there was nothing of interest. The boy talks. His sister did not give away anything for the most part. So I think she is still loyal to the house.
We shall see. Thank you, Spy Master.
Of course.
What is the status while we have everyone here of offloading from the ships above?
One of the advisors looks down at their data pad. It is the male Alexei. We're at 60% offloaded. We're looking at maybe another 3 or 4 days to be completely offloaded.
Send me updates every 12 hours of the progress, and if there's anything that appears to be out of the ordinary, make sure that comes to not only me, but the spy master as well.
Of course.
We need to get this not only offloaded and set up, we have a quota that we must meet for the Emperor. And we must meet it.
Of course. The Fremen that the Mauritani used are still working, as if nothing has changed. But I have received reports already of some of the equipment failing.
That'll be our next problem to deal with once we get offloaded. We are going to have to dedicate a number of crews to go over every piece of equipment. Not only for direct sabotage, but to get a maintenance schedule in place.
Very well.
The Fremen will be performing non-lethal combat displays for the house. As
Spy
a
Master
sh-
sits up a little bit.
It is to share their culture with us.
This has been approved?
Yes.
I have forbidden him from using ranged weapons.
Yes.
I would still like a battalion of troops on hand.
Where will these be taking place so that I can...
In the courtyard.
Okay, so we have home field advantage.
Yes.
Very well.
I'd only like to keep...
prepared.
I only want to keep 4 squads visible. The remainder of the battalion to be out of sight. I don't want it to appear we don't trust the Fremen come to display. But I want to make sure we have enough on hand for... to protect the ducal family.
And this is the Swordmaster here with us, right?
Yeah, Swordmaster's there as well.
Okay.
The Spy Master's the one that's like, I can hide my agents. Do not worry.
Okay.
But yeah, the Swordmaster Ava Orlando is there as well.
Okay, thank you. Ava, please. Keep an eye on the youngest of the Duke's sons.
Pratt,
Yes.
as you wish.
During these festivities, he is an impulsive young man. We would not want him to get lured into chasing after things.
I understand. He is a competent combatant with the blade. His training has come along. But I understand if you wish for me to keep a tighter leash.
For now. If things go well with how the house wishes to create relations with the Fremen on the planet, there may be chances for cross-training, as it were.
That he would enjoy, I think.
I think he would as well. But we are not there yet. It is too soon.
And Marshal Gresham, please send a few of our soldiers to inform the Fremen Thera that I would like to speak with her at her earliest convenience.
Very well.
This is to be a polite invitation. Make sure they understand that.
Of course.
Are there any other matters?
No, it's just the house was an issue because it could be turned against us.
Absolutely, and we are going to try to keep ahead of that.
The Reverend Mother will speak with the Judge of the Change, and I will inform the Fremen Thera, who spoke with us before, of the other matter, of the building being burned.
Very well. And as everybody's kind of standing up to move out, there's a scream from somewhere on the estate grounds. And As everybody's kind of rushing into action, we cut over to Thera, who has just had the news that a house in Arakeen has been set ablaze. The family inside has been killed.
Any way to recover the water at all?
No, it has been burnt.
We'll have to go.
More of these less guns.
More laser guns, the plasma. How did they do this? Why?
The guy that's telling you the information takes a moment and steps closer to you and kind of puts his hand on your shoulder solemnly. Dear, it is with a great sadness that I tell you that this is Muhalis's house. It was her and her family that was found dead.
Sabotage?
We don't know.
Who's the last people to visit?
No one can say.
Don't they have those cameras and flying things to observe everyone?
The house does, yes.
Or we are forced to be reliant on them yet again.
Will you go and find out who has taken the life of Muhalis and her betrothed?
I will. Have you told Siege?
I will tell the elders while you are with these off-orders.
Who would do such a thing? I mean, why? And Burnton did not save their water. Why such disrespect?
Do not know.
Well, we got to find out. We have to know. This is going to be for more than we can handle. If I have to speak to everyone in the damn building, I will. They may think that we are the ruffians and everything. Afraid of arrows, they should be afraid of flying swords.
They have allowed Makduha and her entertainment to put on a performance of our sword skill and our wrestling.
They say no to arrows, and yet they don't realize that swords can fly. Everything can fly in the sands. They're naive. And now they try to kill us one by one. This makes no sense. I will go. You will realize what they're going to say soon about me if I keep going over and over and over there.
Better you than me.
Oh. Throw me to the Shahalood, why don't you? Might as well take everything I've got, my Chris knife as well.
Data, until you are joined and you can help expand the siege, this is the stick that you are given.
Don't bring up the joining. I don't need it. All it does is cause confusion and heartache at times, plus a lot of.
It's a way to make your family stronger.
I make my family stronger as I am the warrior of the family. I've proven thus.
So did Muhalis, where she is now.
Yes, well, where am I? Fine, I will. Shailu will not see that way.
I hope not.
Fine, I will go see what I can do in the city. If I've got to wake every freaking flashing... Did you see the noble in the street this day? The man wore blue and was shining like a freaking karakwer. Some diamonds that they did not know how to belong.
I had heard that there were off-worlders by the monument.
He needs to be educated. Maybe we should educate them as well in our ways. Not all ways. The understanding of where they go and stop. That's where we stay.
While you are there, you can do that.
Fine, I'll meet every funny. Get a room. Do Freeman 101. Give them credits or something. A minus. They take everything else. Might as well learn how to survive, at least in the cities.
It's a new ground, a battleground.
Yes, I bought him clothing so he doesn't look like some kind of, drenched Muad'Dib walking through not knowing where he is at.
That would be quite the sight.
It was. He is tall and drenched, and the water was so wasted. It made no sense.
He pats you on the shoulder. I do not envy your position.
I don't envy my position, but if this is what has to be, this has to be. Mother will say, as the maker who wills it.
All things in the Shai Halut's shadow.
Agreed. I go. I see you later.
He leaves. As you make your way over, you see that there's a big to-do. Guards are coming and going. Patrols look a little bit more bulkier. Where there was 1 or 2 guards before, now there's 3, almost 4 guards here or there. But one of them kind of looks at you. Oh, you're Tara?
There.
Right. Master Hakim Dujen would like to meet with you.
All right. Do you take me to him, or do I wander alone until he shows up?
No, you can follow me. And sure enough, he leads you. Where would Hakim be after the disbanding?
I would be
Following
back in
the
my
scream?
office. And when I get notified that she's in the palace area and coming, I actually send a message to the Reverend Mother to inform her that the Fremen there. I'm not going to pronounce it her way because I don't know how to do that. I'm Hakeem. That she is on her way if she would like to join us.
She messages back after she speaks with the judge.
Okay. The messenger that has brought the information about the scream is that Altera is ill. She has vomited up some blood, as well as whatever food she did have. And right now the doctor is looking at it as a contamination of the food and nothing terrible currently, but she is running tests. The doctor is hoping that it's not something deliberate on her part, on any of the Fremen's parts, but she's also sending word to the Valerian ship to find out if Antares is also ill.
Please advise the doctor that I will be by shortly.
Of course.
She goes to the judge first.
Okay. The judge is brought before you. She is fidgety, obviously, but she kind of looks around the room. Is everything okay?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
we're trying to figure out what happened. It seems like some kind of las weapon was used.
Of course it is. The houses are stone.
Yeah. So I've managed to let the Fremen know that I will find out what happened. And there's no need for violence at this moment.
Yes, let's try to keep it that way. We are definitely investigating it thoroughly and finding out who might have done this. Also, Althera got away. Potentially might have been poisoned. I am going to look into this.
You think it was Fremen retaliation?
I don't know. If they were retaliating, how long did dinner happen about the same time as the burning of the house?
Given the report and the dinner, they happened around the same time. So while dinner was happening, the house was being burned.
Yes, it doesn't make sense that the house would be burned at the same time she was having dinner with her brother. If it was retaliation.
It's odd then.
Yes. Mighty convenient, too.
I can try to find out if there are any numbers missing from the Mauritani, in case they left behind some, shall we say, ne'er-do-wells.
Indeed. I don't expect it will be easy for you. But I would appreciate that information if you can provide it.
But top of my list.
Thank you. But please be known that this was not on our orders of the house.
I'll let the Sieges know.
And we are putting all our efforts into finding out what happened. Thank you.
Thank you. She takes the moment, realizes that you're done with her, and then just quickly.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a dismissive thank you.
Yeah.
She swings by the doctor on the way to Hakeem's office.
She looks at you as you see her kind of looking over some of the stuff that she's collected. Some of the machines are running tests. I've tried to figure out what's wrong with her. It is not natural. This is not a bad reaction to the food. This was
Poison.
The preliminary test poisoned.
Might I see your test results?
Of course. And she shows you the preliminary test that she's run so far.
Is anything familiar on it?
Ooh. Let's have you make a communicate test.
Okay.
And what are you thinking? Duty or truth? Or justice, even?
Duty.
Okay. So 7 and 7 puts you at 14.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that the standard difficulty for this is going to be 2. So I'll use a threat to raise it to 3.
I'm going to burn a momentum for an extra die.
Okay, bring you down to 4.
And that is 3 successes.
Okay, excellent. Nothing over, so you don't get to refill the momentum or buy anything for the scene. But this is a poison you have seen before. This is engineered by the Benetlelix. This is meant to seek out Valerian gene strains.
Benetelix. It's a gene-seeking poison.
That's expensive.
Mm-hmm. But that's what you're dealing with, Doctor. Find an antidote.
Right, now that I know what I'm looking at, I can get to work on that. Thank you. That should help tremendously.
It's my pleasure to serve the house. And she turns and leaves and goes to Hakeem's office.
And you see that Hakeem is in his office. The young Fremen woman is sitting outside waiting to be called in.
Oh.
And there's a guard by the door.
Before I call him in, I finish up a message I'm sending over to the spy master. I'd like him to check with his contacts to see if any of the smugglers have recently brought anyone in or off planet besides the usuals. Like to make sure that he looks into that.
He will have good news for you within a day.
Okay.
But he gets to work on that.
And then as soon as I get done that and find out the Reverend Mother's outside, I will call both of them in.
Okay. The guard allows both of them in after telling you that they're here.
Before we go in, she does say, Thara, it is a pleasure.
Sahardina, always good to see you. Forgive me, a very long name says confusing on the tongue.
Call me Della.
Della, okay. I call you Sahardina as in the way of our people. You share the same as my mother and others of your faith.
She was not trained, yes?
I do not know what you mean by trained. Shahlut gives her this understanding. And as she is a friend of God, she then uses it to help us. And when she takes the water of life to change things, she becomes Sayardena.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I have also drank the water.
And you live, that is good. So you are able to do much things, yes.
Yes. Come, let's go in. Let's not keep him waiting.
I have very bad tidings from what I have been told. But yes, we better go in.
Guard opens the door for you, lets you in.
Reverend Mother.
Simple office.
Thera.
Master Hakeem.
Going to do this in sequential order. It's easier that way. The first thing I wish to speak with you about is we found the wreckage of an ornithopter just outside the plateau. As a token of good faith, I will give you the location of it so that your people can check on it. As it's located outside the plateau, I think it's best to allow the Fremen to look at it.
Was there a worm sign?
My reports didn't show any, but that doesn't mean there wasn't at the time. We're still new and adjusting to this planet's uniqueness.
Do you understand the worm sign?
Bit of static electricity that generates from the sand across the scales. Gathers at the top. Sometimes shifting sands. Movement.
Always shifting sands.
But I figured, as a sign of goodwill, I would let you know so that you can look into it. Unfortunately, that is not the more important matter that is crossed tonight.
Merkus and Gothlu.
Is that their name?
Perished. Yes.
I do not know the names of them. I just know that we were informed tonight that someone set fire to one of the Fremen abodes in the city. We are investigating, and hopefully I will have more info in a few days. But I do want you to understand that we are going to investigate, and we are going to find the ones who did it. There seems to be a concentrated effort here to drive a wedge between our peoples.
We had bad tidings with the other house.
Many do.
Well, they weren't the best of, what do you call, ambassadors to your world, from your outer worlds to here. It left a very sour taste in our mouths.
And that is why I'm trying to keep things on the right foot. I do not wish to see any chance of us working together to be ruined by someone else trying to play both sides and drive a wedge.
Agreed. Why is Plasma Guns trying to kill us? That is pretty much what started the fire, from what I understand. Because how does stone burn?
Well, Fremen aren't known to have shields.
And this means?
It means that las guns are not the problem they would be if you were using them against members of our guard.
You can survive the desert with such shields. They send a Jayalud into a frenzy.
Exactly. But here on the plateau, we're safe from Shai-Hulud, but we are. Your people do not use the shields, which makes las guns very effective.
You do realize the disrespect, not of just this couple that was intended to marry, but of the girl too.
Yes.
Their water.
It was wasted. We know.
And that is
Huge.
why I wanted to let you know immediately.
Yes.
I appreciate it, but what is this this Duke, this Duchess, the other man? He walks in the street shining like a beacon. And was dripping and sweaty, looked like a drowned Babib. I have bought clothing for him to dress properly if he's going to go out, but it's such a jewelry and sparkled. And then he went over to the monument from the past house for their victory against us.
He is young. He is
soft.
Naive.
I do not know. I cannot make an assessment about softness yet. As many people will know, and I'm sure you understand as well, there is sometimes a softness that covers a core of iron. He has yet to have his metal tested.
You better test him quickly because Shai-Hulud will.
Oh, this place will, one way or another.
He will not survive.
And if he does not?
Give me the clothes. I will make sure he gets them.
May I meet him to get him to understand our ways?
Well, if he does not
What he's
survive,
doing.
his line is better
There is...
for it.
Hakeem. There is a potential situation that you may not be able to meet with him right now.
I've
It
done
is
nothing to him.
No, it is an internal matter.
What internal matter? What is going on? If we share our things with you, I think it would be best to understand what we are going against.
There's an assassin within our midst, and they are poisoning people.
Have you weeded out the assassin yet?
We are working on it.
How effective is the assassin? Forgive me, I know a little bit about
The best money can buy.
you buy money. All right.
It is one that can make themselves look like others.
How
is this possible?
We have a saying about revenge in our society. The art of Kan Li. It's It's very ritualistic. And it involves assassins and poisons.
Yes. I was able to stop in to see the doctor before coming. The judge has been notified. The judge of the change has been notified. I stopped in to see the doctor, and I was able to identify the poison. So the doctor is now working on an antidote. It may save her life.
And what was the poison?
Benetaxlin. Genetic poison. Seeking out their family line.
He gets his twitch again of poking and prodding his neck at the mention of that. That is not... There's too much of this going on.
Indeed.
Between what happened on the liners, this, poisoning, burning of a house. It is definitely...
If this person can change, they can be anything, yes? They can be us, right?
There are limitations in some ways, but they are very good at what they do. That is their purpose. That is what they're bred for. That is what they're made for.
Then we do something to mark ourselves on something where they do not know where to look. And you'll know who the real person is. Do it in secret and quiet. The initiation to Arrakis. You survived. Yay, you. Something that you can turn around and identify the real person. This man that walked, I don't know what title it was. He wore a blue coat and shiny jewels.
That was Earl Valeria.
The issue with these assassins, Thera, is they are trained well enough that not even multiple house guards could stop one from killing their target. The guards and the target were killed.
Yes.
Because I trust them.
Yes.
There was no trust in this one. This was an attack. And slay them all.
Then we find ways to outthink them. You know, you don't know our ways, but if we can help, you've got to trust us. Can they imitate our eyes? This takes a while to acquire, I can tell you.
We are going to have to work on a plan to deal with it for one way or another.
Well, you can... I am a scout and a warrior for my people. I will be the branch of unity.
A liaison.
Okay? Unity opportunities igniter and
Do you seek quarters?
what is what?
Rooms. A house.
I have a siege.
I understand. But do you wish to stay close?
She'll think a moment. Reflect on the earlier conversation she had, because goddamn it.
And you got a new fancy word.
Yeah, I'll boop you on that. All right, I'm rolling the die. Oh, shit. She'll go, yes, just I bring what I need. I have sheets and blankets I can put on the floor, and I have very simple clothing. I do carry a weapon because of what I do, but I show it has not left my side. It has not been pulled.
I understand. Do understand that this is not a decision I can make on my own. I must review it with council and the Duke himself.
I will support your
If I have to be brought to them to talk to them, I will do it.
That may be the case.
Then let's do it. Let's not waste too many people are dying. Water is being wasted. And I don't care what planet that you are from, if it is all ocean. It is not here.
If we are having vendetta put against us, the old saying, you always keep potential enemies close. We need to figure out this Antares. I suggest we include him in these plans, or at least
Well, first
part of them.
I need to see if he is actually poisoned as well,
Well,
and get him and get him to the doctor for the antidote.
What did they eat?
They were provided food of your people.
And what is that? Well, if there's a
I
lot of
believe
food
I
for my
was
people.
told it was Maldeep.
They fed them a mouse.
It was a soup.
Do you have small portions, not big? Did they eat a lot?
I would have to get that report.
Can I see the soup, or is that gone?
It would be long gone by now.
When did this happen?
About an hour and a half ago.
And they wasted soup. Unberätores.
Well, if they didn't waste the soup, we will find out very soon, won't we?
We will.
Good. Take me to who I need to talk to get this thing sorted. People are dying, water wasted, and I want to branch this stuff together so that we can work together on this.
Reverend Mother, since you are closer to some members of the ducal family than I am, make sure that, if you wish, we put in that request to get Antares to work with us on this so we can keep an eye on him.
Absolutely.
Can you
Come with me.
Okay, I go.
I'm going to stay here and finish my reports for tonight.
And speaking of Antares, we cut over to a portion of him in his room, and there's a gurgling sensation in your stomach. Something isn't sitting right. And as that feeling comes up straight through behind the sternum, up to the back of the throat, and just tickling your dangly bit,
I'm gonna go to a sink or something.
you splurt out whatever you tried to eat of the food,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a little bit of blood in it. But you notice that pieces of it are moving. Some of your bile is actually, it almost looks like they're slithering towards a focal point at the actual drainage point, and then all of it is just sucked down.
Oh. Okay, I want to think about what this could be. If I have ever seen or studied or anything comes to mind
Sure.
about what could this be.
That's going to be an understand skill test.
Okay.
And what do you think you should pair it with? Because I think it's going to probably fall into truth.
Yeah, me too. Understand plus truth. Okay.
Yeah. So that's
Do I
5
have
and
momentum
7
to
is
spend?
12. There are 4 momentum in the pool. Because you are not familiar with poison, I'm going to start the difficulty at 3. And
Okay.
I will use a threat to move it to 4.
Oh, okay. Okay. If I generate 1 threat, I roll 1 more die, right?
Yes. So you can buy dice with either momentum or threat, or the combination of the two. So it is
Okay.
possible for you to buy 2 dice with momentum, because that'll cost you 3 out of the 4 that you
Yes.
have. And then you can
Yes.
buy a 3rd dice for 3 threat.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna roll 5 die, right?
5
dice,
dice,
right?
correct. Bring me back up
Okay.
to threat 6 and bringing the momentum pool to 1.
Okay.
This is a good game.
Okay, I have 2 values of 2, a 10, a 13, and a 11.
Okay. So Your understand is 5. Your truth is 7. So anything 12 and under counts as success. It sounds like you got 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do the chills count as a critical?
No, that's
Okay.
only if you had a focus in understanding that would befit this.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you do have house politics, so yeah,
True.
I could go with that. So yeah, so you actually got 6 successes.
Yep.
All right, so you have 2 extra, so you can bank them in the momentum pool, or you can establish. You can use 2 to create or change or remove a trait from the scene. You can use 2 to create a permanent asset because of this, or you can use 1 to obtain information.
Okay, I want to obtain information.
Okay. Well, remember, you are finding out what the poison is, so what is the bit of information that you would want to?
What kind of where these origins of this poison, and more even who normally trades or buys these kinds of poison on normal circumstances. This poison is used by which houses, which goals normally does this good? When is this poison normally used?
Got you. So I'll use both of your leftovers for 2 different obtain informations. So your first roll is to let you know that the poison is a genetic sequenced poison. It is a hunter poison that is used specifically for a prime genetic code. So it's definitely after the Valerian
specifically
family
targeted.
Line. Yeah. So any Valerian bloodline is a target for the poison. That's that's what got you that's what you get for the roll. The obtain information for who makes it. It is the Bene Tleilax. It is the organization that dances along the line of the Butlerian Jihad and deals with the scientific advancements as far as the Empire is concerned. And as far as who uses the poison, only the richest of houses. The genetic sequence poison is a targeted poison, and it usually is used to wipe out a family after events like Arrakis turning over.
In the middle of that, who uses that poison normally? Do I remember any instances of either Mortani or Galloway houses ever using that?
Not at all. Not openly.
What about mine?
Moritani and Galloway are not in the tier of riches that could afford something like this. Valeria is on the cusp of becoming that kind of tiered house.
Okay, I see.
So Galloway might be able to afford it now with the first spice revenue that comes in,
but not yet.
Not yet.
I clean my mouth. I go to the door. Get me Rena now.
Okay. And as the guard runs off to get you Rena, this will bring you down to momentum 0 as we switch to a new scene and wrap it up for tonight. So good job, everybody, in surviving another episode of Dune.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, I'm sorry, Antares. I'm a Mentat. I'm a twisted Mentat. If you get killed, you've done your house a service.
I figured you would say something like that.
The good of the house must be balanced against the benefit it provides. Correct. If you can't survive, you offer no benefit to your house, you don't need to survive it.
It actually makes sense from a twisted point of view.
Right? But thank you guys for allowing me to run this game for you. I am excited to see where it goes. Every time that I think I have a good beat on what you're gonna do, there's just
We twist
that,
it.
Yep.
There is that scene of the train from Back to the Future 3 just going straight down in the ball of fire.
And see, I'm trying to bring Antares in so it's not a bunch of
Yep.
split scenes. I'm gonna
Yeah.
Of course, it's so we can watch you because we think you're going to either get killed or you're part of it. So either way.
Oh, you should have seen what Bill and I were typing privately in Zoom chat.
Yeah, we were-
Okay,
yeah,
we were bouncing theories back and forth.
I like it. I like
And
it.
we
Oh,
called the
wow.
poison. We just didn't warn you.
We totally claimed that
Well,
one.
the thing is, Antares would eat. He's not in a paranoid
But the thing
state
is,
of
with a
mind
poison,
yet.
with a
He
poison
will
like
know.
that, even if you had a taster, if the taster is
True.
not of your bloodline, they
Yeah,
would not be poisoned.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
yeah.
the cousins and the lesser members of the family are for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, he's not paranoid yet. Now he is paranoid. After that, he will.
Don't
be
worry, I have
paranoid.
enough paranoia for all of us.
It just takes a little bit of poison to bring that paranoia
It
up.
does. It
Yeah,
does.
It does. Yeah, that's
Tiniest-
tiny bit.
Yep.
You'll learn or you'll die, and your family will be better off.
Yeah.
Just a shame
And I love
y'all aren't Benny Gesserit because you can transmute poisons.
And the Reverend Mother telling him to stop when he was going down the line of, well, if he dies, meh.
The funny thing is, Theron's like, I agree with him. He's not wrong because that's how the sieges live.
That's how the desert
strongest
works.
survives. That's how the leaders are
True.
chosen.
No,
If
I
you
understand.
can't do it, you're dead.
But
I am literally the only thing keeping an entire world from becoming a dystopia. Oh my god.
my favorite moment was asking Antares, like in a private message, being like, "Hey, roll this for me," and seeing his reaction, like his roll. I was just like, "Oh, that makes so much better than for me because now you survived the poison. So this puts you in a very much darker light.
Yes.
than if you
Yeah.
had been sick."
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Mhm.
So-
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
When
Congratulations.
when the Reverend Mother and the Mentat are already suspecting you, now you survived the poison
Oh,
somehow.
I will say the Reverend Mother is not actually suspecting him. She totally suspecting Renna.
No, I am. I'm
Oh,
suspecting.
Theron doesn't even know Renna yet, and I suspect her.
I do. I really
He's either-
suspect her. She's
he's
mighty
either-
conveniently exactly where everything has happened.
He's either
Oh,
part
yeah.
of it or he's a dupe, and either way, he's a piece that has to be watched. Just saying.
Yeah.
Renna might be playing chess.
But
Oh wow.
as always, everybody, join us on our Discord.
Yes.
That is where this
Come
show is
chat with
cast
us.
from. We cast all of our shows from the Discord. So if you're on the Discord, you'll see casting calls go up, and you get a chance to play with us if you get picked to be in one of the shows. So it's a great reason. There are also other reasons, of course, we do weekly Zoom hangouts where we just sit and chill with members of the Discord and talk about whatever comes up. Subject matter changes between games and just about anything in life. Even ghost stories, which was an earlier discussion in the Zoom chat before we were live. Even
I
those
see
come up.
dead people.
That's right. And if you want to catch our back episodes, pop over to our YouTube, and we've got back episodes of everything, pretty much everything except Dungeons and Dragons and Call of Cthulhu. And for that, you got to pop over to the Ishval channel because Tiss streams with us, and that's where she keeps her Call of Cthulhu and D&D, of course. You want to catch amazing content creators, two of which are right here at this table with us right now. Check out our friends. Ravnos Archon, he's one of them. And then, of course, Junie is the other one. Here, I'm going to put the command in since it wasn't put in. There you go. You can pop over to the RPG table. That's where you'll see Junie streaming. She streams Vampire, and it's a lot of fun to watch. And then Ravnos Archon, when he's streaming on his channel, here in the near future, he's doing a lot of streaming on our channel, but on his channel, he streams Vampire, Wild West Werewolf, Legend of the Five Rings, Star Wars, D&D. I mean, Ravnos Archon covers a lot of it. So you can get all that good stuff in there. If you want to get some McStabber Studios merchandise, we've got a merch store. Let me be honest, we don't really make money on the merch store, but
I don't mark the stuff up.
yeah, it's it's just a chance if you want to get something cool. You can pick something up. I'm sure eventually. Yep, there's Oh,
No cowards here.
no cowards here. That's from the werewolf stream
Yeah.
that Will was in, and we also have Red Rockets for Gaia.
Red Rockets for
Oh.
Gaia.
Yep. And let me think. I think I actually covered all. I can go to my wife for the schedule.
All
and it's
right.
a busy one.
It's a busy schedule, y'all, and I may run out of breath while I'm trying to go through it all. But first, thank you all so much for joining us for Dune tonight on a Friday night. Tomorrow, coming up, we have Call of Cthulhu 7E London Esoteric Society, run by the amazing GM Tiss from Britain. It is at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, so join us for some kooky investigation and crazy cult stuff going on in Victorian London at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And then on Sunday, we have Windy City After Dark, our Vampire the Masquerade V5 stream at 5 p.m. Eastern. It is Season 7, Episode 5, our mid-season episode, with a special guest this week.
And it's not in a club.
And it's not in a club. No, we have a special guest this week. I'm Gray is actually with us this week for the beginning half of the episode. So you'll want to tune in on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern to check out that. There's lots of story that gets laid in that episode. You don't want to miss it. And then on Monday, the 11th of July, Ravnos Archon here is going to be back in the GM seat running Kids on Bikes at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you caught us at the beginning of the stream, you saw the promo for Kids on Bikes. It's set in Massachusetts. It's basically a 3-session miniseries. It's going to take folks through the timeline of kids that become teens, that become adults, dealing with a very spooky island town in Massachusetts. You want to tune in for this, 8 p.m. Eastern Monday. On Tuesday, we have Demon the Fallen, The Road to Hell, Season 1, Episode 7. We are getting close to the end of season, and it's crazy. We have had a lot of chaos. Join us Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. That one is streamed live, unlike Windy City After Dark, that is pre-recorded. You want to tune in to see what the demons get up to now that they have rescued someone from a horrifying ritual, and see if maybe they might get a little bit of downtime now that they've averted some crisis. And then we are back for the next session of Dune, Blood-Soaked Sands, at 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday, the 15th. I get tripped up because it's so many streams, y'all. We are legit doing 5 days a week of streams. So,
And my prediction in Dune, we're all going to die.
Oh, yeah.
Now, who's gonna die first?
Oh, not the Reverend Mother, because she don't go out by poison.
I don't know, Aunt Terry's. If you start wandering the marketplace like that alone or without enough guards, I'm just pointing out. I mean, it'll happen.
If you're gonna eat things that you didn't cook, I mean, my dude.
Yeah, I mean, and as we always in these streams, please, everybody, take your mental health seriously. Check into those around you. Reach out to them. Because a lot of people are not okay at the moment, and all it takes is a friendly voice or just somebody saying, "Are you okay?" To sometimes get people off an edge that they don't need to be on, honestly. And if you do suffer from mental health issues, like myself included, and many of us in our community, first of all, it's okay to not be okay. There's nothing wrong with having trouble dealing with mental health. It's part of life. It's part of the human condition, and it is what it is. So never feel ashamed of having mental health issues and being in a crisis. And reach out to those around you if you need to talk to somebody. And I know a lot of people don't feel they have people they can reach out to. And if you don't, in chat is a list of numbers you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And on the other end of that is people that will talk to you and will help you and will talk you down from a ledge. Because, I mean, honestly, everybody, it's important to make sure you're taking care of yourself. And self-care is important, but sometimes you just can't do it alone, and you need to get past the self-care and get assistance because it's that important. We want people to still be here to join us on all these shows, and even if you don't watch the shows. So please take the mental health seriously, and I'll turn it to my wife for her portion as well.
I will also say that those crisis lines can help you with finding providers locally to help continue your treatment, whether it be counseling or anything else you might need for treatment. But it can sometimes, right now especially with pandemic and everything, be very challenging to get appointments timely. It can be really hard. So one thing you might consider if you are employed and your employer provides employee assistance programs at your job, that is free to you and it is confidential, and they can actually provide counseling. Not just crisis intervention, but also counseling for you. And it's completely confidential. They don't tell your boss. The only thing they get is a utilization report showing how much it's getting used, not even by whom. So consider that. And honestly, I'm a McStabber. I'm a registered nurse. Been doing this a long damn time. Today I am hesitantly encouraged. Our president in the U.S. signed an executive order to ensure that there is access to safe abortions for people with uteruses. It's only as good as he stays in office, though.
Yeah, it's not enough.
It's not enough. So, because the Supreme Court did overturn Roe and Casey, and states have had bans going into effect since that overturn. And honestly, the only way we can stop it from expiring and getting out of control is even on the city level, state level, every fucking level, you have to vote this November. And you need to vote Democrat, for real. Because the Republicans want to strip you of your control. They want to control you. They don't care about the fucking babies. Because literally, once that baby's born, they're not doing anything to ensure free formula for kids that can't be breastfed. They're not doing anything to ensure that the mom gets enough maternity leave to actually recover from pregnancy and delivery that is heavily traumatic on a person's body.
They voted to stop the free school lunches.
And they stopped the free school lunches so that even when your kid gets older and off a bottle or a breast, it's going to starve during the summer when it can't get access to school lunches. So they really don't care about the kids. They care about their guns and their money. And you know what? Vote blue, please. Save some lives. Vote blue.
And fuck Putin.
And fuck Putin.
Please do not take it out on the Russian people in your community and the Russian businesses in your community. They have nothing to do with Putin. But fuck Putin. And I'm not going to stop that. I've meant it. I'm not stopping till he's out of Ukraine. Fuck him. And I do thank you all for coming. And I thank the rest of my players. It's a joy to play with you all. And of course, it's a joy to finally get to play with Ravnos Archon running the game that I'm in. And if you think you're having trouble pinning down what we're going to do, welcome to a table. Well, first of all, with my wife and I in it, and then you threw Junie and Alex in it. Yeah, you're doomed.
I don't know about Alex there, but I know Shanky, myself, and Junie are also GMs and storytellers. So he's playing with a table of a lot of GMs and storytellers, and legit,
Yeah.
we do those twisty things all the time.
I saw Alex come up with shit during Bro Hunters. No, you're screwed.
Yeah.
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 So I do thank you all for coming.
Thank you so much, and join us in Discord. I'll post the
Join us
link
in
again.
Discord. And good night, everybody, and we'll see you next time.